To start off, we have a whole bunch of seasonings here that we pre-mix and we basically make our own seasoning. Now as you see here, we got them layered. We do a really good shake. Shake it for about a good 5 minutes. And that way everything gets incorporated and mixed well and evenly. Now once we do that, you see here that we've already deboned the deer. We have it semi-frozen. It's in between frozen and thawed out. That way when we're slicing it here, just like you see here, we're doing thin, about 1/8 inch thick slices. It comes out as one whole piece and we're layering it in a pan. Now once we complete one layer, we go ahead and add seasoning and we keep repeating the process. Now if you don't have a slicer like this, you can go ahead and slice it by hand with a knife. It will take longer, but it is the same thing. So as you see here, we want to sprinkle generously a good amount of seasoning. And we're only doing one side since the next layer will capture some of that seasoning and so forth. Now once we fill this all the way to the top, we'll go outside just like you see here. And we have this makeshift smoker that we made out of a canopy with some plastic, and we have some drying racks inside. All it is some square tubing with a little bit of mesh. That way that square mesh, that way the smoke can go through there. And when you're laying these pieces out, you want to make sure that they don't touch. That way it dries all the way around and the pieces don't stick together. Now this is a lengthy process. It is going to take some time, but it's definitely worth it at the end. So once we got all our meat laid out, as you see here, none of it is touching. We went ahead and started not a complete 100% fire, but we light part of the log on the bottom. And once that fire dies out, it's got just enough to create smoke. But again, it's very critical that these pieces don't touch each other on these racks. You want that smoke to go all the way around. Now this is a video of our setup. It's 10mm thick plastic. We went ahead and wrapped it all the way around this canopy. Now when you enter, after you light the fire, you'll see that there's a good amount of smoke. It's not very hot in there. You see there's no flame. It's just the log slowly burning away. Now the good thing about this setup, even though it looks like a lot of smoke, since there's gaps on top of the canopy and on the bottom, the plastic isn't touching all the way, there's room for that smoke to escape. Now, if we're doing this because we don't have an old little shack or anything, but if you do have an old little outhouse, I've seen people do, smoke shacks back there too. So this will run, it'll be done within like 24 hours. We started it, let's say 3 p.m. in the afternoon. The next day it'll be done. Most of the pieces will be done after those 24 hours. The thicker pieces are going to need a little bit longer, but you just check on them as the hours and the time goes by. You see there's a little bit of smoke escaping out the top, and that's what you want. You don't want to completely entrap it on the inside, because then the meat will just taste really bad, too much smoke flavor. You could see there's a good amount of smoke escaping there also. Now, on the inside, while this is smoking, we're still slicing more meat. We're preparing it. And all the little trimmings that we couldn't slice, nothing goes to waste. We season them up and cook them in a pan, and that's what we had for dinner. Now, this is the next day. You can see most of it is just ashes now. And as you can see, these pieces are nice and dry, especially these thinner pieces. Those thicker pieces in the middle are going to need a little bit longer. Now this is 24 hours later. Now one thing I like to do is, obviously you got to sample the jerky. But, you know, when you fold it in half, it should snap or it should crack a little bit. And that's how you know when it's done. So as you see here, this one, I'm going to fold it in half. Just enough and it'll snap. That's a good piece of jerky that's ready. Now this next piece, you see when I fold it, it didn't snap, it just bends. That one needs a little bit more time. A couple more hours. That's about it. You just keep repeating the process. It is a lengthy process, but it's definitely worth it at the end of the day. And this is the final product. It's all done. You can share it with your friends. You can enjoy it. It goes great in the mornings. You can do what's called machacado. You shred it. You can do machacado with it. You shred it and you add some eggs and you scramble it. And it's ready to go. But hopefully you liked the video. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you very much.